Good afternoon and welcome to Animadness, the news show that explores the mad world of animals. We have an absolute jam-packed show today, so let's see what's coming up. We find out it's a hamster's life for some. We've got social care for donkeys. And Becky meets a turtle with a tall tale to tell. We'll also look at the absolutely lovely cycle of a butterfly. Now, how do you usually start your day? Do you wake up, get into your school uniform, eat your Frosties and then go to school? Well, it's not the same for all. Have you ever wondered how a hamster spends the day? Let's take a look into the cage of Halo the hamster and see what she gets up to.
An early rise for Halo to begin her day, but actually this is happening while we are asleep because hamsters are nocturnal. This means that they spend their day actually through the night. So while we are spending our days at school or at work, she's actually sleeping. Let's take a look at that again. After a few shorts, it's time to get in the ball and for a bit of exercise. Usually gets up to a good hour in the ball. After exercise time, it's time for a bit of fun, and here she goes into her pen to have a play.
Alright folks, this one goes out to my two bestest friends in the whole world, Patrick and his big peanut guy. It's a little ditty called Goofy Goober.
No baby can resist singing along to this. SpongeBob, it's the Goofy Goober theme song.
I know.
So as the day comes to an end, she's back in her cage and back to bed.
Well, that was fascinating, Jake, but wouldn't it have been great to see this? Mark, age 8, sent us this picture of his hamster called Megatron. Now, we've had lots of pictures sent in this week, and here are just a few of them. And here's one from little 7-year-old Holly, who loves her dog called Rolo. Not only that, but Noah emailed this picture of Thumper as he was walking in the park. And finally this. That donkey picture was hilarious, but do you ever wonder what happens when donkeys get sick? The Donkey Sanctuary in Sidmouth does some amazing work with sick and injured donkeys, and we sent Jade out there to the site in Devon to find out exactly what they do.
Welcome to the Donkey Sanctuary. We're here today to talk to Maxine Carter, the farm manager, and Steph Westlake, who will be telling us about their daily routine. The Donkey Sanctuary, founded by Elizabeth Svensson in the late 60s, is now home to hundreds of donkeys, and we will be looking at the work that is done by the charity. Farm manager Maxine Carter has been in charge of the donkeys for the past 4.5 years. Hello, Maxine.
I'm the farm manager here at Sladehouse Farm. I've been doing the job for 4.5 years as manager, but I've been at the sanctuary for 26 years. Well, what happens is they've usually done 6 weeks, at least isolation first. In isolation, they then assess to see what management group, what farm they need to go on. And from that information, we talk to the grooms here on the farm and put the donkeys and divide them into the groups. As far as pairing up here at the sanctuary, the donkeys choose their own friends. And if they do, then they'll be together.
The Donkey Sanctuary rescues donkeys that need a good home. It takes £700 a year to feed a donkey if you adopt it. This shows that donkeys aren't cheap pets to have. There are many coming back into the Donkey Sanctuary as people can no longer afford to keep them. This is where we caught up with Steph, who told us about 2 special mules called Millie and Paul.
So, this is Millie and Paul that are in this yard. Paul's the chestnut and Millie's the grey. Paul came into us about 2.5 years ago. When he came into us, we couldn't even put a head collar on him, let alone have his feet trimmed or have his teeth looked at or get a blood off him to make sure he wasn't ill. He came up to here and came in with the donkeys. Unfortunately, he didn't get on very well with the donkeys. He liked chasing them and they would run away from him, so we had to separate him off. Within 6 months, his whole attitude had changed. He lives with the donkeys now and he doesn't chase them. We're able to take him to places like Royal Cornwall Show and all of our fetes. A couple of months later, luckily Millie came in, who's a grey. And Millie is absolutely lovely. She came from a lovely, lovely lady who loved her very, very much, but unfortunately could no longer look after her. So we paired them up together, hoping that Millie would be a calming influence onto Paul. A couple of months after that, we realised that she actually did some tricks. She stands on the box, she does some dancing, and she's going to stand on the box now. She does some dancing, she does a bow, she can wave a flag. She doesn't always do it. We don't make her do anything she doesn't want to do, so if she doesn't want to stand on the box one day, we will never make her.
From here in the Donkey Sanctuary in East Devon, it's back to you in the studio, Daz.
Wow, so the Donkey Sanctuary in Sidmouth is in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the biggest in the world. Now that's an amazing fact. Now over to Matt, who's going to fish out.
Did you know fish have been on the earth for more than 450 million years? Fish were well established long before dinosaurs roamed the earth. It is estimated that there may still be over 15,000 species that are still unidentified. Some species of fish can fly. Fish have a specialised sense organ called the lateral line, which works like a radar under the murky water. The largest fish is the great whale shark, which can reach 50 feet in length. Over to you, Daz.
Fish are amazing creatures, and at the Plymouth Aquarium there are thousands of different species of fish, which is where Becky went and discovered Snorkel, a loggerhead turtle with a brilliant story to tell.
From big tankers that hit rocks every now and again, but lots of oil comes into the sea from washing up pans where we've cooked our bacon in the mornings. That oil ends up in the sea as well and can cause problems too. One of the other really simple things is to make sure that we're eating sustainable sourced fish. So fish that have come from really good sources, and make sure that it's not depleting stocks of fish that might go extinct.
If you're interested in rehoming a pet, then you should talk to the RSPCA or one of your local vets. We spoke with Dave, a trainee vet, about advice on rehoming and looking after your pets in the winter. It's great to see the animals that the RSPCA look after being able to develop and spring back into life. It really shows how much love and care you need to give your pets. Now remember, if you ever need any advice about caring for your pets, these are the guys that can help. Now these aren't the only animals that are developing and springing back into life. One animal that's continued developing is the butterfly. So now we've got a short animation to show you just how amazing the life cycle of a butterfly really is.
Let's explore the life cycle of a butterfly. The mother butterfly lays eggs onto a leaf. Shortly after, the eggs will start to hatch, and out will come a tiny little caterpillar. Enabled to become a beautiful butterfly, the caterpillar needs to eat lots and lots, getting bigger and bigger. The caterpillar will then make its way to a branch. There it will settle and start to form a cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar is transforming into a butterfly. After 7 days, the butterfly slowly starts to emerge from the cocoon. And finally, the transformation is complete, and the butterfly can fly away and start the process all over again.
Now, earlier in the week, we went down to the Eden Project in Cornwall to ask a few questions about the animals of the rainforest. So let's go take a look at what we found.
Hi guys, and welcome to Animadness. I've travelled all the way down to Cornwall to the Eden Project, where they've been doing some fantastic things about the conservation project. Right down there, where those huge golf balls are, is a rainforest. Not only a rainforest, but there's a Mediterranean one as well. Now it's freezing out here, but I'm going to be going inside it to talk with our friend Dan, who works at the Eden Project. He's an actual conservation specialist who does all sorts of work. He's travelled to the jungle plenty of times, and he's going to be teaching us all about it. So keep tuned and keep watching.
Hi guys, and welcome to Animadness. I'm actually inside a rainforest down at the Eden Project. Now it kind of looks like a huge golf ball here, but it's not. It's a massive, massive rainforest. You wouldn't think it from the outside, but it is huge. Now we've got our friend Dan here who works at the Eden Project, who's a conservation specialist.
Well, I've been here a long time, about 10 years.
10 years?
So I've done pretty much all there is to do here. But the things that really stick in my mind are where I've gone to the rainforest on project work for Eden and spent time in the jungle, which has been absolutely incredible. Far away, there are these things, and they're fundamentally keeping us alive. Without them, we'd lose our weather systems, we'd lose lots of the food we eat. Rainforests are completely full of life. We estimate, as scientists, that approximately 50% of all living things on the planet live up in the trees of this place. From the very, very small to the very, very big. All of those things are connected and help keep the rainforest alive.
That's brilliant. So I mean, is there anything new coming to the Eden Project that we should keep our eyes peeled for?
Yep. This year, hopefully this month, we're going to start building a rainforest walkway. At the moment you can see we're stuck on the ground, but there's this gigantic space above us. We're going to build a walkway through the top of the trees to get people engaged higher up, tell some different stories about the rainforest.
Wow, thank you. So for everybody visiting the Eden Project in 2013, what would you say they have to do?
My personal favourite things to do, first one is directly above us, the Rainforest Lookout.
Wow, okay.
That gives you a view from 50 metres above the rainforest of all the people, all the trees, all the buildings. It's an amazing view. And also I'd recommend coming to our concerts in the summer.
Concerts for the music? Fantastic. Okay, would you be able to tell us and come show us hopefully some of the top 3 things that you could do at the rainforest biome?
I'd be delighted.
Brilliant. Right guys, that's what we're going to do. Dan's going to take us to the top 3 things of the rainforest biome. Let's go check them out.
We're outside a Malaysian house, or we call it the Malaysian hut.
A Malaysian hut?
Yep. So imagine you're in the middle of the forest in Malaysia, somewhere like Borneo for example.
Right, okay, I'm picturing it.
This is exactly how people live in that part of the world. So surrounded by dense forest, they'd create this kind of homestead, a bit like a mini farm, an allotment surrounding your house full of stuff which they can grow to feed themselves. So over there we've got some rice, in front of us we've got bananas, we've got ginger, star fruit, everything you could want. This is your Tesco, Boots, all wrapped into one.
Fantastic. So really, I don't need to leave my front porch to get food. All I have to do is walk down those few steps pick some beans, pick some rice, pick some ginger, some
Back
fruit,
inside.
back inside. Don't have a TV though, don't I guess?
They have got a TV.
They have TVs. Yep. Alright guys, so we've been to the Malaysian hut and learned about how people actually live in the rainforest. Dan's taken us to, well, looks to be like a really big waterfall. So where actually are we now, Dan?
We're just up the path from the Malaysian house. We've got a really nice view of our waterfall here. I wanted to bring you here because water is at the heart of the rainforest story. As you can figure out from the name, rainforest, it rains a lot. So water is incredibly important to that.
So are there a lot of waterfalls actually in the rainforest itself?
Yeah, the biggest waterfalls in the world are almost always in rainforests.
Wow.
But the most amazing thing is that water that's generated in the forest, say Brazil, that drives the world's climate. So our weather is dependent on the world's rainforests.
So without the rainforest we wouldn't be here, and without the waterfalls the rainforest wouldn't be here.
A bit like that, yeah.
So photosynthesis, I think I've said that right, that's how we get our oxygen to breathe.
Yeah.
So we need the water from the waterfalls to make the trees live so that we can therefore survive essentially.
Yeah.
Dan, tell us where we are.
We are 50 metres above the floor of the rainforest on our
50 metres.
on our rainforest lookout. And it's amazing, isn't it?
We are so high up. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't told anyone this before, but I am scared of heights. The ground is actually moving and I can see directly below us. What type of trees are down here? Like, what are we actually looking at?
Well, we can virtually see the whole rainforest. So the tallest tree we can see over there is a kapok. That's the tallest tree in the biome. In the wild it will get to about 50, 60 metres high. In here obviously we have to chop it off.
Brilliant, well thanks for taking us up here. I'm going to have to get down before I get too scared. But guys, this is unbelievable. For 2013 this is a must-stop tour. You have to get yourself down here to the Eden Project.
Right, I've just come outside the rainforest. What a weird thing to say. I'm actually in England and I can say I've been inside a rainforest. We've learned so much. We've learned that we need the rainforest to survive. Without the rainforest we actually wouldn't be here. For the rainforest to survive it needs all the waterfalls and all the rainwater it gets. It gets 2.5 metres of rainfall annually. That means per year. 2.5 metres, that's almost double me. I've learned so much today. It's been a great time down here in Cornwall at the Eden Project. Keep tuned next time. See you next week.
We hope you've enjoyed the show, and from everyone here at Animadness, thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.